When Super Mario Galaxy launched on the Wii in 2007, it was a revelation. The gravity-based gameplay was such an inventive and well-implemented new approach to Mario platforming. The game looked as stunning as a game on a non-HD console can look, and the whole experience had a sense of scope and scale and grandeur unlike any other past Mario title. It once again reinvented and redefined what a Mario game could be, pushing Nintendo's mascot plumber to figurative and literal new heights. But it left the usual tantalizing, dangling question after such a wonderful game. What's next? Super Mario Galaxy 2 began life as a sort of Mario Galaxy 1.5. They considered the engine for the first game such a good foundation that it would be a shame not to build more on top of it. In typical Nintendo fashion, what was meant to be a quick one-year turnaround building on the original ballooned to a completely new experience all its own, as they had more and more ideas. You feel that in Mario Galaxy 2. It's not a dramatic step forward for Mario, but rather an iterative one. The core of the game was already established, and it was rock solid. It was simply about adding to it, and streamlining it, and abandoning the shackles of having to introduce and teach players all new gameplay mechanics. Instead, simply throwing every ounce of creativity they had at perfecting those ideas. That's what Super Mario Galaxy 2 is. The perfection of all the ideas introduced in the first game. A marvel of level design and creativity that stands as not only one of the best Mario games, but one of the best games Nintendo has ever made. Super Mario Galaxy 2 doesn't quite have the same bombastic story as the original. Bowser destroying Peach's castle in cannon fire as all the Toads freak the hell out is still hilarious. But it gets to the point a lot faster. The levels are the star of this show and the game knows it. That doesn't mean the game abandons plot altogether though. The game does have a very important narrative arc. Peach invites Mario to eat cake, Bowser shows up, and this time he's huge, his words not mine. Bowser wants cake too, so he kidnaps Peach, as one does, and takes her to the center of the universe, again, as one does. Mario stops Bowser, Bowser doesn't eat cake, Mario and Peach celebrate with cake. That is literally the plot of this game. I'm sure the cake could be seen as a metaphor for something. But Mario Galaxy isn't about pretense, it's a Mario game. It isn't about story. The game and the characters have a ton of personality and the writing is a joy. Even if Lubba can mind his own business about how late I like to play the game, listen Lubba, no one is asking you to be here at 4 AM too. Similar to how the story abandons any hurdle between you and Mario action, the structure is designed to do the same. Rather than the common observatory of the original game, Mario Galaxy 2 favours a world map. Personally, as somebody who has never much cared for hub worlds, I'm a fan of this change. For me, hub worlds have always been a slightly annoying obstacle between me and what I'm actually playing the game for. The cool levels. The move to a world map streamlines the whole experience, it ups the pace and tempo of the game. You move from one level to the next much faster. The idea of a hub world isn't completely abandoned though. There's still Starship Mario, a spaceship the shape of Mario's head, or as the game points out, it actually looks more like Luigi. Everything should look more like Luigi. Starship Mario becomes a cool travelogue of everywhere you've gone and every weird and wacky space creature you've met. It's a nice space to mess around with the controls and movement while also serving as the game's tutorial area. For me, I like it more as an optional side diversion compared to the more time-consuming Comet Observatory. Of course, given all of that is just a vehicle to serve you levels, naturally, the level design is the true wonder of the game. This is the game where Nintendo perfected their model of delivering you some creative new idea, iterating on it, ramping up the difficulty, and then moving on to something completely new. Each level either has one or two main stars plus an extra hidden star. As a result, you're always moving on to something completely new and different with whole new mechanics and ideas and obstacles. The game is a perpetual motion machine of creativity. Even within the same level, sometimes the challenges are completely different. Take Melty Monster Galaxy in World 6 for example. The first star, you're navigating a dangerous world of lava and lava monsters, and the second star, you're guiding Rock Mario across an obstacle course. There are just so many ideas stuffed into the game. So let's talk about some of my favourite levels. Yoshi Star Galaxy is tremendous between the music, the introduction of Yoshi, who we'll talk about in more detail in a minute, and the spectacle of flying through the air as a volcano explodes in the background. It's a perfect early game level that shows exactly what you can expect from the whole game, even if it does feature dead Yoshi skulls. Mario Galaxy is dark. A flip-swap galaxy where the platforms beneath you change every time you spin creates this great sense of tension every time you jump. Anxiety-inducing for a dope like me who frequently jumps before he thinks. Puzzle Planet Galaxy, which also has incredible music that you're listening to right now, involves you ground-pounding the environment in such cool ways to solve puzzles or create platforms, even if the boss does involve brutally murdering a parent and child. Mario commits genocide multiple times in this game. Honey Bloom Galaxy is one of the cooler pure platforming stages full of acrobatics and wall jumps and secrets, and of course, B Mario. Supermassive Galaxy is a really neat Mario 3 tribute where suddenly everything is huge. Sweet Mystery Galaxy is a planet full of pancakes, what more could you want? Upside Dizzy Galaxy involves gravity constantly shifting between up and down, slowly melting my brain. Slip Sand Galaxy has the return of the Sandbird from Super Mario Sunshine, I'm not sure is that good or bad. The giant slide in that level is awesome though. Throwback Galaxy is a full remake of Thwomp's Fortress from Mario 64, complete with a tremendous remix of the music. There are so many cool levels in this game. Honestly, I could spend the rest of this video just listing levels. The bonuses and hidden stars are fun and varied. Stuff like bowling, cleaning boxes with a fire flower, and mastering ice skating add neat variety. I like nearly all of the castle levels a ton. They're usually some of the more fun platforming challenges in the game. The Prankster Comet stars ramp up the difficulty, remixing levels with new challenges like a time limit, fighting a boss with only 1 health, or murdering all of the Spinies with a star. See what I just said about Mario and genocide. They do up the difficulty, but you can mostly complete the game without them if you like. Only if you're going for the full endgame stuff do you actually have to do all of the Comet stars. The motion control gimmick levels are pretty bearable, and honestly the ball rolling one grew on me, especially the endgame Rainbow Road inspired level. There are so many great levels in this game, and even as you get splatted by a thwomp, sucked into a black hole, or crushed by a block, you always feel like you made the mistake. It very rarely feels like you're being punished by the game's design. You can always do something just a little bit better. The bosses are a mixed bag. There are a ton of mini-bosses in the game, most of which have unique fights. Fair enough, most of them amount to run around this circle and dodge until you can hit the boss's weak point, but the number of unique bosses make them feel less like a chore than recent Mario games. Bowser, on the other hand, is extremely boring. You fight him 3 times, and each time is broadly the same. It's a bit of a bummer that the game ends on such a whimper of a boss fight. They even tease that there'll be a second phase, but that's shorter and less interesting than the first. Bowser Jr., however, brings much more interesting boss fights with his giant robots. He puts Daddy Bowser to shame. Most of the power-ups from Mario Galaxy 1 return, with the exception of the Ice Flower and Flying Mario. Sadly, Spring Mario wasn't also lost to time, so I feel like they deliberately built the Spring Mario level so that you could beat it without using Spring Mario a lot of the time. There are 3 new power-ups. The Spin Drill, which allows you to literally journey to the center of the earth, but for me was the weakest of the 3. Rock Mario, which I didn't really like in its introductory level, but thought they found some really fun uses for later in the game. Cloud Mario is my favourite by a landslide. Each time you spin, you create a cloud platform for yourself. It gives you an agency that most Mario games don't. You are no longer contained by the level design. It's so much fun to use those clouds to coast across levels. Boo Mario also returns for a level, or if you're playing as Luigi, which given the choice, you should always play as Luigi. You become Booigi. Yeah, it's Luigi and Boo. It's a good joke. The big difference between Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 though is the introduction of Yoshi. Yoshi is so well implemented into this game that it may well be my favourite incarnation of Yoshi in any game, including like Yoshi exclusive games. Not only do you get the usual Yoshi action, eating enemies with your tongue and turning them into starbits, I'd love to know what goes on in Yoshi's digestive system. But Yoshi also comes with his own power-ups. The Dash Pepper makes you go real fast, best used in Hightail Falls Galaxy. The Blimp Fruit makes Yoshi all floaty, and the Bulb Berry illuminates and creates the path in front of you. They really thought about how to make Yoshi a meaningful part of this game in a way they never quite did in the new Super Mario Bros. Games. Mario's dinosaur pal adds so much to the overall experience. It's a lot to say Super Mario Galaxy 2 is the best game Nintendo has ever made. Nintendo made a lot of games, and a lot of them are very good. I get if Mario Galaxy isn't entirely for you. It isn't the more exploration-based game that Mario 64 or Mario Odyssey are, nor does it strive to be super realistic in how it contextualizes its challenges. It's a video game-ass video game. In the world of Mario, there are just planets that consist entirely of rolling rocks or moving platforms or an abandoned house. What it does do though, and in my book, better than any other game Nintendo has ever made, is deliver seemingly endless variety and fun. It's such comfort food. Slipping back into playing it to capture footage was such a joy. The game is a giant, challenging platforming hug full of creativity and imagination and colour with incredible music and wonderfully tight controls. The simple thrills of this game never get old. Flying out of a launch star through space or collecting starbits with the pointer are such small, brilliant delights every single time. They fill the game with something tactile, along with the gravity-based mechanics and the spherical planet design. It lays the foundation for something truly special to be built on top. And that something special is a parade of unique obstacles and brilliantly designed worlds. It's 10 years old now, and it still feels timeless, motion controls and all. So I'm just gonna say it. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is the best game Nintendo has ever made. Thank you so much for watching. Mario Galaxy 2 is a game that I love so much. And once again, like the Final Fantasy VII video, I hope it did some degree of justice, because god, this game is so good. By all accounts, they're probably porting it to Switch or remastering it for Switch this year. I want to play it in wonderful high definition. Imagine this game in HD. Oh, it would be so nice. You can follow me on Twitter @GarrettKidney or ETTKDNEY. If you like this video, subscribe, leave a like. Just hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. On your left, my retrospective of Final Fantasy VII. On your right, my game of the decade, which, believe it or not, Mario Galaxy 2 featured in. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.